Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Polo with Polo Trading LLC, and we are back. We are back at week number 2 for our $100 ARK ETF challenge. For those who have been following along, I decided to invest $100 in each ARK ETF. Go through this real quick. Again, I've been involved in trading stocks for over 20 years, and usually just something as a hobby or even just something just putting money away. And because of COVID, I decided to get involved a little more, do a little more, learn a lot more. And when I started researching and started like, okay, I want to develop long-term assets, I started researching and I saw there was a huge amount of different ETFs that provided different things, different opportunities. And again, these are some of the ETFs that I was looking at. And it was just so many different things and so many different videos. I think there's a place for these in your portfolio. But for me, again, it was just too many. And I was like, but even while looking through all the videos, one thing kept popping up. And that was the ARK ETFs ran by this woman here, Catherine, and she's the CEO and the CIO. And she's been doing extremely well within the market. So I saw that she had 7 different ETFs. I didn't know which one to choose. So I was like, well, let me just put $100 on each one of them and see what happens, right? So this is where we are at right now. We are week 2. So I'm going to do a quick update and I'm going to share my Excel sheet here. I've been keeping track. I've been trying to figure out how to organize this a little better or a lot better. This is the week, week 0 here. Started with 100 and somehow ended with 102. Not sure how that was, but the total I invested was $703, right? Then week 1 had some great wins. Everybody was winning. Everybody won last week. Every company went up. But this week we actually had some downers. All right, we had a few that went down. But at the same time, I mean, it's still all good. And even from my last video, if you didn't catch that, one of the companies that was in the ARKG, they actually lost, like their position lost like $11-12 million in one day, but still the stock went up because it's diversified. The ETFs are diversified, so it blocks it helps balance. It doesn't block. It helps balance out. And I'm going to touch on that in just a second here. So week 1 we had all winners, and not a huge amount of winning, but enough winning, right? But this week, week 2, ARK F went from my position again, so $100 each, and I actually have up here that shows how many shares. I have some partial shares, and not even a whole share on this one, but partial shares, some whole, some partial. So last week, ARK F went from my position went from 105 to 101. It dropped, but it's still profitable so far. ARK G went from 103 to 107. Yep, that's the winner for this week. ARK K went from 101 to 104. ARK Q went from 100 to 101. So ARK W actually dropped a little bit from 100 to like 98. The Israel ETF went from 101 to 103, so it went up a little bit. And Print went from like 103 to 102, so not much. However, the weekly total still, last week was 715, this week is 718. So still I got a 2.2% return on investment already. Actually from this one, week 1, week 2 is 2.7% return on investment. So far, so good. Like, I'm happy with this so far. It's been exciting. And I really wanted to see like what was going on with ARKG this week. Like what was going on. So actually I decided to take a quick look. Let's see here. I think this is the one here. Yep. Let's go with this one. All right. So starting out, we go onto the website, onto the ARK Invest website. ARK-funds.com. You can learn about their whole entire company, learn about everything. And I just started doing research. I started looking, and these are the top 10 holdings for ARKG. Top 10 holdings for ARKG. And you can see, I think that's Invitae, I'm not sure. Invitae Corp. They own 5.9 million shares for $177 million. CRISPR, Arcticus, Illumina, Copygen, they own massive amounts of stocks. Copygen is also 5.4 million shares. And also I went to investigate this a little bit, and I looked at ARKG. What I like to do is I like to look at like how the week go. Again, ARKG it increased by 40 cents, which helped. That's just in the past week. So therefore, again, that's why it's 7.79% return so far on that one. So I like to look out like usually a 1 week, usually 1 month, maybe 3 months. It's the 90 days. But I like to look at like what was this going on with this a year ago, and I saw that ARKG was just at $30-something a year ago, consistently. Again, it had the little drop during the COVID time, during times of COVID, but then it just kept going, kept rising, kept going, kept rising, and now it is actually up to $58.56 per share. So for the year, so for the week it gained only 40 cents, but for the year, it's gained almost $27, increase of 85%, and that really like blew my mind. Like, why is this going so high, right? So I looked at the different part of this, just the top 5 companies, and I saw like, okay, Invitae actually went up $1, but then within 1 year, it's actually gone up like $5. So that's pretty good. Now look at CRISPR, like they actually went down 52 cents this past week. But then when I looked at 1 year, I'm like, wow. So CRISPR is doing some amazing things. Like I think this would be a good company to have just even by itself, because it's gone up 93% with just a year. So, and again, this is an amazing company, and this headquarters is in Zug Zug, wherever Zug Zug is. That's where it's at. So it's an interesting company to learn more about. So like, wow, 93% return just in just a year. That's incredible. And it's still growing. Arcticus actually down $10 this past week. That's pretty huge. That was pretty huge. But then I looked at, and I was like, wait a minute. Just a year ago, this company was $10, $12, $11, and now it's 48. Now it's 48, and we see like around the little time of the little dip. It's the little COVID dip here. The little COVID dip was from March 6th to about March 13th, and it didn't stay dipped that much, but then it kept going up, and up. Like, this is incredible. So again, this is another company that has done really well based out of San Diego. Illumina, I think I discussed that last time. It actually dropped even more. It dropped $9.46. But for the total year, it's gone up $60, 21%. So I mean, they were doing pretty consistent already, like hitting in the $200, $300 per share. And they had that COVID dip they went from 282 to 209. That's a lot of money to be losing in a short amount of time. But they've continued to bounce right back and are doing extremely well. They actually had a small dip, but they still above average right now. So that's Illumina, right? But then I got the Copygen. I got there. It was only up $1.12 this week. And again, I looked at them like, wait a minute, a year ago, this was like trading for $3, $4, not even $4, $3. And now it's at $17, which is a 379% increase. My God, can you imagine your money increasing by 379%? That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. And I mean, even like it had a little dip too, right? March 11th, it went from about $11 to about $6, but it didn't stay down long, and it hopped right back up. hop right back up, and it's been going up and down. So this is part of the what some people call so when stocks are going up, that's a bull market, right? It's bullish. When stocks are going down, it's bearish, and then they go back up, it's bullish, right? So those are usually the two main terms. But this is like up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Some people call it the kangaroo. I call it the bunny, just because I like the alliteration with the letter B. So I call it the bunny market. Like it's just bouncing up and down, up and down. But you see that it's staying up. And if I was a better stock person, I would be looking at like the line that it's starting, that it hits on a regular, $17.12. $16, $16.48, $16.28, $16.85, then $17.55. So it's something about getting up to this place that is like just it keep going there, right? But then we also look at the lows. We also look at the highs. We look at the lows. The low 1238, 1283, 1404, 1457, 1416. So the lows are getting lower, right? Or I'm sorry, are not getting lower. So that's a good sign, right? So so again, that's $11. Again, this is about, let's see here, 15, no, sorry, $12 there, $12.83, 1404. The lows are not getting as low, but the highs are not really getting that high either. So it's kind of like just bouncing up and down in this area. But if this area here, if it goes lower, then expect to go lower, and you may want to position yourself to buy it at a lower price, or get prepared now and get it at because it could go up. And this is another company, I do believe, out of Tel Aviv. So it's interesting to see how this company ARK is involved with different companies, different countries. I mean, and it's in Israel, based out of Israel. So I want to do a little more research on Copygen, because again, like it's going up 379%. And I was like, man, what is happening with them? I want to know. So I went to their website to find out, looked at their stocks, and looked at like, okay, again, they was just that little dip here, but then something happened. They shot up. So again, I wanted to find out like who they connected with, who are they working with, what is going on with them, what can I find out more information about them? They actually partner. They have partners. They collaborate. Who they collaborate with? Bayer, Bristo-meyers, AstraZeneca. I think it's an AstraZeneca. I think that's it. I don't know. And then John Hopkins. Let me see what's going on with Bayer. Bayer, they working on some stuff. 2013. They work on this stuff for a while. But then when I got down, I saw how Copygen has received over $30 million in upfront preclinical and clinical milestone payments, as eligible to receive over $250 million in total milestone payments, as well as tiered royalties on global sales. Tiered royalties on global sales. That's major. That's major. The 30 million is great. 250 million, fantastic. But to have tiered royalties on global sales, global, we are not talking about local. We're not talking about in just one country. We're talking about across the world. Again, they focus on developing Immuno-Oncology, that is focusing on changing the immune system to fight, to encourage the immune system to fight cancer, okay, or changing the immune system to be able to fight cancer better. So that's Bayer. You also have Bristo-meyers, who partners with Copygen, right? What's Bristo-meyers talking about? In October 2018, Copygen entered into a clinical trial collaboration with Bristo-meyers. They're working on this COM 701, whatever that is. But in February 2020, collaboration expanded to include a triple combination clinical trial to evaluate the safety, tolerability, and anti-tumor activity of COM 701. So this is one of the things that definitely made a big difference, this partnership here. And by the way, in conjunction with this collaboration, Bristo-meyers made a strategic investment in Copygen and now holds approximately 4% of Copygen. So Bristo-meyers is a very well-known, very solid company. and now they are investing in Copygen as well. I'm not sure how much a 4% investment is, but we can, try to maybe figure this out later. And then lastly, AstraZeneca, I do believe, March 2018, right? So they've been working on some stuff for a minute now. But what's important, what's amazing, Copygen received $10 million up front and is eligible to receive up to $200 million in development, regulatory, and commercial milestones, as well as tiered royalties on future product sales for the first product. Additional milestones and royalties are due Copygen for each product developed under this deal. So they have like a license deal to where they get a certain amount of license. Again, here you go, royalties, right? And they also do some work with Johns Hopkins. But for those who don't know, AstraZeneca, they just signed a deal for with Europe to provide a cure, a vaccine for COVID. So again, like these are major players in a lot of great things. And this company, Copygen, which is part of the portfolio of ARKG, is partnering with some of the major players in the pharmaceutical field, including those working on cures and vaccines for COVID. So this company has a huge amount of potential. Again, it has already gone up 300%, over 300% with just in 1 year. Ah, man, I wish my money went like, oh my God, that's incredible, right? So I encourage people to learn more, to dig into this. Johns Hopkins is involved in making sure they will have professors and educators focusing on these things. Immuno-Oncology, research these things. Because I'm learning. I'm excited. They work in different ways. There's multiple types of immunotherapies that are happening in different forms and for different reasons. So it's interesting to me learn about the white blood cells, how they actually, how do they tell the difference between a cancer and a healthy cell? That's usually one of the problems. They can't tell the difference. That they're literally changing it. That is incredible. This is going to extend people's lives and hopefully make cancer treatment less stressful, less strenuous as well. So let me see. So I mean, it's just been interesting to see this, especially when I looked at the stocks of Bayer. Bayer had an okay week. It only went up. It went up on 13 cents, but it's been like, it is going pretty strong, but then dropped down. They had that COVID dip, also been right back up, and then by now it's going down some more. AstraZeneca, again, this company I was talking about. It's been going okay. They actually they got the boost. They got a small boost, but it's been trailing. But when you can go on and you start researching, looking at news, look, central virus vaccine. The European Union has agreed to buy at least 300 million. And this article says a signs EU deal for up to 400 million doses. This may be a stock you might want to invest in. You might want to. I'm not a professional. I don't get paid to do this, right? But you might want to look into it. And they got a dividend yield. I like that. The price earnings ratio is pretty good. And it's out of Cambridgeshire. I didn't even know that was a place. And they got over 70,000 employees. That's incredible. So that's something that you might want to look at. And again, this company was doing pretty well already. Had that COVID dip to 30. They went from like about 50, 48 to all the way down to about 37. And they've even hit 61. So again, AstraZeneca has gone up 25%. So this is Bristo-meyers. Bristo-meyers has gone up $2.41 this past week, and a total of 38% in the past year. Another COVID dip example. It was up to 60. It was up to 65, 67, dropped all the way to 46, and has come right back up. come right back up. So that is absolutely incredible. I encourage you all to continue looking into these, researching these, because this is just amazing. I'm excited to see the percentage of growth of my return on investment. Most bank accounts don't give you 2% on return on your money. So this is going well for me so far, and I'm learning more. And that's just ARKG. Again, that was just top 5 holdings. I don't even know what the other 5 companies are doing. I got to investigate those too. And again, I really need to look into all of the other holdings of ARKG. Might be able to have a telltale sign there. So again, if y'all have any comments or questions, please put it down. Please hit that like button. If you haven't done that, please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I release a new video every Sunday. And again, if you all want me to do another $100 challenge with another sector, another group of stocks or something, please let me know, because I want to make sure this is educational, but also going to have some fun, also just learning. Like it's just incredible to know that I'm learning how to invest even better, while also learning what are the new trends or what's happening in the technology area about curing cancer, right? And now I'm part of a company that is working on curing cancer. Would you like to be part of a company that's curing cancer? Like, who wouldn't want to be, right? And getting paid to do it, because I'm learning, and learning while I'm earning. It's the great thing about it. So continue to follow along. Let me know. Please drop down any comments, good, bad, and different. It's all love, is all good. And thanks for everybody who subscribed so far. Thanks for everybody who's hit the like button the past 2 videos. And I'll see you all next week. Thank you.